Welcome back. I am Pragya Mishra and I am the EVP of Customer Success and Operations at Courseplay. Courseplay is a 360-degree employee growth platform. Join me as I dive deep into the world of HR with a seasoned professional who has navigated the complexities of regional HR leadership, change management, and talent development across Asia Pacific. Monica Diwan is the Regional HR BP APAC of NIQ GFK. Welcome, Monica. It's great to have you in today's session.
Thank you so much, Pragya. Really a pleasure for me to join you today.
So now, again, in your opinion, how can organizations ensure that every employee has access to development opportunities?
Okay, so when you talk about skill development, Pragya, I personally believe that whenever an organization is devising its talent development strategy, it should bifurcate into two broad categories. One category, the first category, should be accessible and available and designed for everyone across, irrespective of their roles, levels, experiences, genders, anything. So, for example, time management, respect, okay, sexual harassment policy. So all these things should be easily accessible and available for everybody. The second category has to be very specifically created and strategized for the function and for the group of associates and their levels and roles that you're catering to. You cannot really expect, let's say, a leadership group to be sitting into a presentation workshop.
Yeah.
Okay? Or maybe a group of, let's say, 4 years, 5 years of experience sitting into strategy workshop, right? It won't make sense for them, right? So for them, I think it has to be very clearly defined and aligned with their roles and the expectations from their roles. So that would be the first requirement. After that, then of course, basis each category, you'll have to further define your strategy. As I said, the first category should be accessible to all. So it should be very clearly aligned with DE&I, right? So diversity, equity, and inclusion should be very critical part of that. Okay. It should be very inclusive in terms of ensuring that genders, neutrality of genders, race, etc. do not get highlighted in any of the programs in any manner. So you'll have to be very careful in terms of the content also there, right? At times we do not think about it, but somehow we just speak something which does not fall into that line of inclusivity.
Right.
Yeah. So that would be one. Then we should always have a standard requirement of managerial support, right? So you want your associate to be trained, but the manager of the associate says, I'm sorry, I cannot release you.
Yeah.
I cannot give you that bandwidth. I can give you half a day only, or you don't have time to do follow-up sessions or projects, right? So all those things, you should have a clear alignment with the managers beforehand, right? Otherwise, you would actually stress out the participant rather than making him or her learn.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, while creating the programs, even in the first category or in the second category, I reiterate myself, need assessment or the T&I is extremely critical. Okay.
Right.
So, for example, if I say data interpreters, okay, this is a group of data people that you are talking about and you have to train them. Do you think they have a need for presentation skills? No, not immediately. They have something else as a requirement, right? These people are not supposed to be, let's say, communicating with anyone. So it's like a back office job. Do they need workshop on communication? Not immediately, maybe sometime later. Maybe they need more of written communication as a knowledge or as a skill set. So you have to understand what is the requirement of your organization at large then functions, and then roles, and then define it accordingly. And that would bring in involvement, that would bring in participation, that would encourage everybody to join those programs happily.